How to take a loss like a champion. Trading is difficult because there's a paradox, because you're risking money to find out if you're right, but there's always a possibility you'll be proven wrong, and that's called a stop loss. But today I'm going to show you how to think like a casino, and the casino always wins. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's dive in to the crypto casino. I normally finish my videos with a quote from my book, but I'm actually going to start with a quote because it's really, really important, right? Because the world's winners in any industry, let alone crypto trading, they know that winning requires putting yourself out there where you can fail. And it's absolutely key. So I'm going to read you this quote from Michael Jordan. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So Michael Jordan has really not only upped his game to a level, but you understand that statistics is probability. We take the shot. It's no different for a casino. A casino in the game of blackjack has an extra edge over the player of around 4.5%. And it knows if it just places many, many bets or allows people to place many, many bets, it ultimately wins. And if you can think of that in terms of your own personal trading, then there's really only three outcomes for every trade. You can either make a profit, take a loss, or you break even. And if you know that, but also that every outcome is independent from one another. In other words, if you take 3 losses in a row, it doesn't mean it's going to impact the next one. And you should just trade the same with your edge. If you've taken 3 wins in a row and it's been really, really profitable trades, it doesn't mean you should risk more in the next one because every trade is independent from one another. So we can just simplify this concept of randomness. We're trying to get consistent results in a random game. So we got our edge. I like to use something called momentum, pattern, price, and time. Right? When 3 of the 4 align or 4 out of the 4 align, it becomes my edge. Like I'm the casino when it comes to playing blackjack. And then I play my hand without hesitation or reservation in a confident, fearless manner, but without being reckless. Because the only thing that we have control over when it comes to trading is our capital exposure. How much are we going to risk to find out if we're right? So normally 1%, 2%, or 3% is good practice. So I like 2%. So just think of it like this. There's a game, we're rolling a die, and it's going to have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And each number has an outcome. What are the potential outcomes? Well, there's break even. That means 0x. It means you might risk $500 to find it if you're right. Potentially, it could 10x or 3x or 2x. But break even means you don't lose money, right? You've moved your stop loss to break even, then it gets stopped out, 0. So that's a good, healthy risk management, trade management thing that you want to have in play. Then the next outcome is what is a potential loss, a partial loss or a full loss. In other words, if you got good risk management, you risk 2%, right? And the market triggers you into the trade, but then stops you out. Well, that's a full loss. That's a full minus 1x, right? So if your 2% was $200, you've just lost $200. Or sometimes the trade moves in your direction, you adjust your stop loss to minimize capital exposure, but there's still some risk. So it might be 0.5% or minus 0.5% or 5x, right? In other words, you've risked $200, but you risk what? You lose $100. What's the other outcome? Well, it's profit. What kind of profit? Well, it's small profit, so like a 1x, so you risk $200 and you make $200. Trade doesn't fully go in your way, but you've adjusted your stop loss in a logical manner. You've managed your trade, but you get stopped out and you make a small profit. Or you make a good profit, like a 5x. So you risk 2%, but you make 10%. Or you risk $200 and you make $1,000. And there'll be other times where the trend really unfolds and you make a 10x, a 15x, a 20x. So you risk $200 and you make $2,000, right? So these are some of the outcomes. And if you can rewire your brain, which is easier said than done because we're unconscious beings and we operate 95% unconsciously. So in my book, you can actually now download it for free on my website, r15finance.com, r15finance.com. You'll see it on the landing page. You'll be able to download it because I cover a lot of mindset things that we want to talk about. So what we're going to do next, I'm actually going to go into BNB because we recently got stopped out on the BNB trade, But how do we think about it? And how do we adjust it and don't let it impact when we see our next edge and we just simply become the casino? So here's BNB. This is the daily chart on BNB, and I've just taken the date back a few days. So I've taken it back to the 29th of June, right? The 29th of June. So our trade plan with BNB, keeping it really, really simple. I'm just going to draw this out for you. Is I had reason to believe that this is a corrective structure and that we're likely to see a top and that the price has the potential of making a new low below this low. And the trade plan is on the next daily bearish reversal. You go, what does that mean, Jagir? What does that mean? When this blue line down here at the bottom crosses over the red line down here, we're going to consider a short trade, meaning we're going to make money on the way down. That's the plan, right? So we're going to unfold the data. So over here, bang, the blue line has crossed below the red. So what we say is we're going to go short on a 1 bar low. And if we're wrong, we don't want to have our stop loss anywhere beyond this point. So we risk 2%, right? So if you've got a 10 grand account, we're risking $200 to potentially make maybe $1,000, $2,000, maybe $3,000 thereabouts. But there's always risk. We can never eliminate the risk because we're risking 2%. We're risking 2%. What's the worst case scenario? Market triggers us in and then stops us out, right? And then we lose 2%. So what happened with this trade? Well, let's just unfold the data. Let me just delete these. Unfold the data. In fact, I'm going to do it like this, just so we have the marks over here. I would normally make this line red. For me, it makes it clear that it's a stop loss. And here I'll mark this as a green, which makes it clear for me that is an entry. So this is an actual trade. So the blue line's gone below the red. We got triggered into the trade. So we're in the trade. And then the market unfolds. Bang, we get stopped out 2-3 days later. So we go, okay, what do we do now? Well, you take the loss like a champion. That's right. That's right. Right? It's like Michael Jordan taking the final shot. You know, he said 26 times I've taken the game-winning shot and missed. So we've taken our shot. So the real secret is knowing that the best in the world are only right around 30-40% of the time. And in fact, we only need to be right 30-40% of the time, because when we're right, we make a 3x, a 5x, a 10x on the risk reward. And when we're wrong, we either take a small profit, break even, or a full loss or a partial loss. And this is one of the cases where we take a full 2% loss, but then we just reevaluate. So what am I doing next? This is really, really important because we don't want to allow this to impact our next trade, especially if the edge is in our favor again. So what is the next trade setup? Well, let me get rid of this over here. Okay, this is where we are right now. So we got stopped out yesterday, and this is where the market is right now. So it's really, really simple. Really simple. We don't need to overcomplicate anything. Is we simply say when the market makes the next daily bearish reversal, in other words, the blue line goes below the red, we can consider another short trade setup. There's a few different reasons, but the thing I want to really show to you today is if we drop down to a 60-minute chart, I'm just going to zoom in like this. It's going to zoom in. What we have on our hands, and it looks like it's unfolding already, but we don't need to jump the gun, is the market has done this 5-wave movement to the upside. And typically if the price goes below here, that will indicate that this top's going to hold. And then on some type of pullback, we can consider a short trade. So there you have it. That's it. That's the art and the science, is to become the casino. Is to know that every event is independent from one another. There's always risk. And we're going to have one of those outcomes that's going to play out. It's either going to be, if we can go here, it's either going to be the trend's going to really unfold, or we're going to take a loss, or we're going to break even, or we're going to make a small profit. And that's the nature of the game. So I'm going to invite you to something really, really special. It's the R15 Crypto Gym. It's a gym concept, because I used to be in the gym business, but we're focused on crypto trading. And we do daily workouts on BNB, on Solana, and also now Bitcoin. And you can test it all out for as little as £1. You get a 30-day trial. There's a lot of goodies there. You get an invite to my private Telegram group. You get access to my charts. You know, if you click over here, you'll see that you'll get access to the Bitcoin chart, Binance coin. So BNB chart, literally what we saw today. You'll get this exact chart with the exact settings and everything else. A lot of goodies, And in the description link below, if you want to join me for my daily workouts, literally me running the workouts, they're short, sharp, to the point, but we're just looking for the edge. And then we're trading that edge when it's there. And when it's not, we just stand aside and we wait patiently, really patiently. Sometimes 2-3 days, right? Sometimes 2-3 days. If the trade's not there, the trade's not there. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Repetition is the mother of all skill. So let's finish with the same quote because it's important. It's important because most people, this is, you can improve your technical analysis, but if you can't get your psychology right and understand that we're playing a probabilities game, then it becomes difficult and then you start making mistakes. So let's finish on this. Michael Jordan, once again, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. And that's how you succeed. We see the edge, we trade the edge without hesitation or reservation in a fearless, confident manner, but without being reckless. And what that means is we simply have a stop loss, 2%. And we know we can lose that 2%. That's a reality. And we accept that as the cost of doing business when it comes to trading. Join me tomorrow for the R15 Crypto Gym workouts, £1, 30 days. Join me there. I think you'll love it. And I'll see you there tomorrow.